Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today I'm going to do something I think is pretty cool. You saw a video not too long ago where we went and sexed a couple rattlesnakes, and we said we were going to bring them back. Well, for us, this is the exact same day. For you, I don't know. But we're going to put one of those rattlesnakes in this room because, well, we're just going to. The other ones have already been put up in our room there. We brought home 3, which clears our entire collection of rattlesnakes out of the shop. So there is no longer... Well, take that back. Now there's only one animal at the reptile shop that is personally owned by Olympus Reptiles. That animal would be the alligator turtle. Alligator snapping turtle is the only thing that's there that we own, and we're going to continue to let it be displayed there. Most example spot for it here. But all of our rattlesnake collection is out. It's all here. It's all housed in Olympus, and it's where we want it. So we're going to be able to do some things. So what am I going to do today? We're going to put the last one up, let you see how we do that, and then we are going to share our plans on breeding rattlesnakes with you for the future. Yeah, because maybe we're just going to do a lot of that. Maybe we'll just quit the ball python game and just breed hots. Maybe. Probably not, but who knows? So what I like to do when I put one of these up in their tub or their cage is I like to have it, ooh, this is something you always do. So you always check. Caleb already knows I'm. So when you look, I just felt to make sure things were right. See how my finger tracks? If I'd have put that in there and I would have tried to close it, I could have been whoop and got myself in a bad spot. So you always double check what you're doing on your equipment before you do one of these. Let's flip our glass around, slide it back in here, just like so. So now I can close. Awesome, awesome. Get some shit out of those tracks. Oh, the coconut. I'm just anal about that because I like them to... Now this is a big snake, so like a little gap here, it's never going to be a problem. You ain't got to worry about that. If it gets out of there, we got major issues. It's not going to happen. Someone's going to say, well, a thing could sneak through that. Then don't put your finger right there. Problem solved. Okay, so we're going to put this snake in this cage. I like to just open it about yay far. Give it some room to get in there. Then you need a tool. For us, it's going to be this hook right here. The snake is in this bucket. So... couple things. Make sure everything's set up. We already did that. We got that right. Got a hook. There's people backing me up. There's another hook right there if needs. I like to start this bucket lid off. Spin it so it's free. Use the hook, not your meat hands, to get that off. Put that somewhere. There's our snake. Right? Easy pleasy. And then we're just going to simply take this hook. Try to see what kind of mood this snake is in. Oh, you're in a good mood. We're going to go ahead and hook and tail this one because it's in the mood to allow me to do so. Pick that thing up, get you a good show of it. Nice albino right there. Looking good. Okay, so we'll just take it. We'll start it into the cage. With a little bit of luck, I like to just take my finger here and kind of rub on the sides and belly. That usually gets them moving. We're going to let it crawl in the cage on its own. Take our finger, begin to close. We don't want to slam on its tail. We want to convince the snake to go in. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's not really interested in moving. This is definitely a game of patience. That's what this always entails. Come on. Come on. Once you get it, mink, just like that. So there we have a nice looking Western Diamondback. That's going to be living in here now. It's going to be a lot happier in here, I think. Less people messing with it all the time. I'm going to see those keys really fast. So it'll be just, you know, well, people are going to mess with it, or me, Caleb, and Kurt. That'll be it. Another thing, always check your lock and make sure it actually locked. Ask me how I know. I did that once and the whole damn lock fell off. So just check your lock. Make sure just a little tap, simple as that. You know, everything's good to go. And remember, these are not like, I like to lock all my venomous cages to have some kind of extra secure. Just one more step to make sure I do it. There are times you'll see I'll leave keys right there. This isn't about not being able to open it. This is about going through a process to make sure you secured it. That's what it's really about. Keeps you in there, right? Yes, it does. And so anyway, there it is. That is our rattlesnakes, all to plan. Let me pull this over here for you now. and grab me a marker. So, what does Olympus have in its rattlesnake collection? Well, right now, let's go with M. That's for males, okay? We'll do an F for females, okay? Just do that. We're gonna do that. It's pretty cool, right? It looks all official. So what do we got? Well, over here, we have now sexed everything in our collection and double checked it so we know what we have. We have a purple haze. Het albino. We have that. We have a lav albino. Het hyper. We have that. We have a hyper. Hypermelanistic, for those of you who are curious. We also then have one albino male. And then we have a red. And we have a red. So that is our males. Over here on the female side, we have a hypo. We have a red. Okay. We have a albino. And we have an albino. Now, we're also going to hold back a red, but it's a baby. So it won't be doing nothing for a while. So we only have 4 females. We have 5 males. So that's kind of somewhat of an issue. Our numbers are off, but that's okay. This is more of a hobby, so I really don't give a rat's butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 males. 6 males.
What about the albino above the red? And
that one's the male albino.
The one about the top corner. We should have 4 albinos here. We only have 3 written down.
4 albinos here. That's a female albino. Yeah. We brought a female albino.
There's this one in here.
No, I am counting that one in here. It's right here. Albino, albino, lavender albino. Albino. There you go. So what are we going to do with this? Well, right now, we have some pairings that I think I'm going to plan to do. One, this would probably repeat. Right? And then we'll go with what we're going to plan on producing down here. So we'll call that number 1. And then I'm going to probably do that for number 2. I think that'll be fun. So then we get over here, and one of these guys is probably going to get left out. Now, I know this purple haze is het lavender albino, which I think you can cross lavender albino and albino in westerns. I'm not really sure, but you know, we might screw with that just for fun. These two also, because they came from the same collection, may very well have other hets running around in it that we're not aware of. So just kind of keep that in mind. So I probably will pair up one group of there for shits and giggles. So that would be 1. And then we'll probably do that for now. That would probably be pairing number 4 if I did all 4 pairings this year. So what are going to be our results? Well, for pairing number 1, I would expect, well, that's here. Red to red, or no, sorry. Is that red? Yeah, red to red. You're going to get blood diamonds. That's what we're calling them. If you don't like the name, don't care. That's what I'm going to stick with. 2. Now 2 is red to hypo. So this is a wild-caught hypo, like this is the other wild-caught male. I would expect normals. Double het. Whoop. I write like I'm 12 or 2 already, so this just makes it worse. But double het, blood, and hypo. Okay, that's what I expect. Pairing number 3. So 3 is here to here. Again, I'm going to have to do some checking on lavender albino to albino. lie to you to tell you if I was fully familiar with how the albino lines cross in westerns. Not my area of expertise, but it's going to get there. But we're going to hope for albino, het black, or hyper if you would, pos het, well no, sorry, purple haze, yes. And we're going to have also caramel, so these will be het caramel. And possible het albino stuff. Everything would be het black. So we're going to make some albinos that are het for hypermelanistic. We could make some het albino, het caramel, right? Because everything's going to get caramel here. Everything's going to get albino here. What gets lavender albino with the albino, hopefully will be albino, het caramel, het black. So we're working towards doing some cool stuff there. If we get lucky, there's a few hidden hets in there. So that's what we're kind of hoping for, but I really don't know. So we're going to just play around with that. There'll be all kinds of stuff in there, and it's not going to look too appealing. It's mostly going to be hidden hets. Again, we're starting a project. We're going to have a lot of het stuff we're going to make in the first few years. Number 4, which is right here to here, that's going to make albinos. Now, could there be some hidden het stuff in these two? Yes, because again, it all came from the same collection, which that was where the purple haze that we have was produced, and that was here. The only bad thing is we're not using this guy here. There is a chance, and I try to do some research, if I find the albino lines, doesn't matter, then I will probably move this line from there to here and give this guy the time off. The reason for that would be I would get the same results, plus I'd have a chance at making things possible, het for black. So it'd be just a little more stuff. But that's, until I know we're looking at this. We're going to give the hypermelanistic probably the year off for sure. He's a little bit smaller than the rest of the males, so if there was ever a male I wanted to rest, it would be him. On top of that, I don't have anything over here that I know would be het black, but we're going to get het black stuff anyway from the purple haze. So that would mean that I could keep something back and then work to do some full melanistic or full hypermelanistic down the line. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So this is not going to be anything too like, oh my God, earth-shattering 47 gene snakes, unless we have some hidden hets. Now, odds of hidden hets, we talked about ball pythons, are really not very good, right? You're not real high odds of hidden hets. Here it's a lot higher when you're dealing with captive bred snakes. I would not expect either one of these reds or that hypo to have a hidden head in it because it's wild caught. So it would be very surprising to see it here. But in these, where people are breeding a lot of things together, and this is some of the visuals, there could be a ton of crap rolling around in there. So we're going to hope to prove some of that out. And if not, we're still going to be happy with the results. So why are we doing this clutch here, the normals? Well, because we have the double het hypo and the double het blood. This is where I think we can get to eventually a pink rattlesnake long term, which would be really, really cool. I actually think I like these better without caramel albino and with a true albino hypermelanistic. So we're working towards that there. That's the point of doing that. Albinos are just kind of something to sell because we've got it. We might as well breed it, to be blunt. The red to red, it was so much fun the first time, we might as well run that back again. Kurt, anything you want to add?
No.
What do you think of this plan?
Cool.
It's cool. Kurt says it's cool. Caleb, what do you think of this plan? You're probably a little more into the hots.
Oh, I'm excited.
What's your favorite pairing?
Oh, probably the red to the hypo. Not that it's going to make anything cool right out the gate. I think that's going to be a really amazing project at the end of the line.
Yeah.
So for a long term, it's going to be that one. Probably if like the purple haze to the albino, especially if that does something to be or turn out to be compatible or whatnot, that would be
Be fun, right?
fun one.
So yeah, I'd say this long term. I agree. I'm probably most exciting right now to do. Honestly, probably here to here, assuming it's compatible, just because I know what all we're gonna get, and even yeah, I'm just excited about that one. But long term, I'd agree, here to here. That's something that I don't think anybody else has had the opportunity to do. We'd be the first people to get the chance to do that, so that's pretty cool. But we will sell all the babies that we don't keep, so I'm not going to keep everything. This is not, I want to repeat this, guys, this is never going to take over a lot. So when we do this, like let's say we hold back 2 from here, okay, down the road. And so then we have these 2, you know, pairing to that. We'll probably then not do an albino pairing the year we breed that, unless we have more space, because there's only so much room we can dedicate to doing rattlesnakes. It's not going to be what pays the bills. It's going to be what we use for a hobby. Just be aware though, sometimes when we're filming videos, you may get back to, like if you watch our old school days and you'd hear that rattle in the background occasionally, you might get back to that because now there is a buzztail in here. Actually, there's a whole bunch of buzztails in here because I'll show you guys something. Well, we got you on here. We can get a light. This is unplanned. But Kurt's going to want a little bit better light on these guys, which I understand. I would too. You know, one thing that's a horrible design on these, you can turn your flashlight on from here, but it's like when you do it, right in your face, blinding you. That's not what I wanted. Right in your face, blinding you. So you gotta hit the volume key. Ah! Like, why would you turn on your face? So we just set all these up. Oh, that's the one we can't open. Oh, we blocked that one. So there you go. If you want to see how the reds are coming along, that is them. They are looking just amazing. That's just a pure white cell phone light that's on them. Nothing too crazy. And that is consistent, guys. That is not like me pulling out the best of the best. We'll just go to the next one over. That one's a little darker, getting closer to its next shed. But again, you can just do this all day long, and you're going to pull out just super nice babies. Super nice babies. So really kind of cool. All right, anything you want to add?
No.
All right, Caleb, anything you want to add as I come back into the light?
Nope.
All right, guys, that is all I got. Thanks for watching. I'm really excited to have all these home. If you'd have asked me, and this is one thing I love about this hobby, okay? You know what? Fuck that. We're going to save that for Patreon story time. So before we wrap up off here, make sure and check out all of our links. Click like, click subscribe. You're going to see more things here than you do in a lot of other places because you're going to now see things like, let's see here. This year we're going to have, going into 2023, because we're kind of done with 2022 breeding season. Got a lot of cuttings left and baby updates. But you're going to see us try to breed ball pythons. Gotta hope we get some eggs. If we don't get eggs this year, we fucking forgot what we're doing. We're going to see us attempt to probably bleed. Hopefully we don't bleed. Well, maybe Kurt will bleed because he's going to try to breed blood pythons. So bleeding is possible. You probably won't see as much on the day-to-day because they're at his place, so I don't know how much filming we'll do on that, but hopefully we'll get to do some filming. But we're going to attempt to breed blood pythons again. Or not again, for the first time ever. Let me correct that. Kurt is probably going to try to breed boas again. Maybe, we'll see. So we're going to have that going on. We're going to attempt to breed carpet pythons again. So that'll be the third time there. We're going to attempt to breed western diamondbacks again, and we're also going to attempt to breed Gila monsters. I'm not going to tell you all that's going to work out, but if you're getting tired of going to channels and seeing ball pythons, and more ball pythons, and more ball pythons, and more ball pythons, we're going to show, instead of showing 4 ball pythons, like ball python, ball python, ball python, ball python, we're going to be like ball python, rattlesnake ball python. So you're going to get a little bit of variety here, but it's still going to be mostly ball pythons. All right, that is all I got, guys. We will see you next time.